Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the internet and welcome to my channel. It's me, Odio, and I'm here today to do another review for you. And today I'm doing The Gorge. Ooh, it was a Valentine's Day movie on Apple TV, and I gotta tell you, this should have been in the theater. Let's get into it. Well, although I'm not the most romantic movie enjoyer myself, I did like the romance in this movie. It's all about these two people, Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. They're from two different sides of the world. One's from Russia, and Miles Teller's from America. But they both have one thing in common. They're very good snipers with very few friends and relatives left in the world. And they end up, you get their backstory where they have no one in their life pretty much at all, and they get offered this job, 1 year working at this place for the government, and it's going to be a big secret. They had to sign all these contracts and everything. Ooh, where are they going? Oh, I'll tell you, they're going to the Gorge. So when they sign their contracts, actually, it's Sigourney Weaver that actually gives them the contracts to sign, which was cool. Nice seeing her here. So they get sent out to the Gorge and they meet their predecessor, the one who's been there for the year before them, and they give them the rundown. And let me tell you, this is not your normal Gorge. It's hidden from space with these satellites so no one else can see it. And when they get there, there's an outpost on each side of the Gorge, and it is armed to the teeth. There are machine gun turrets everywhere. There are mines and stuff. They have to maintain that. They have racks and racks of guns and missiles and missile launchers in both of their barracks. Their predecessor tells them the Gorge is like a gateway to hell. He doesn't know what's down there or how long they've been doing it, but it's been about 75 years of people taking 1 year at a time. They all have their little names scratched into the wall and stuff there. It's really cool. You slowly get the backstory of what the Gorge is and what they're doing there. Are there monsters in there? Why do they have so many weapons? What's going on? It's really interesting. The story really drove me forward. I was like, this is great. Gets pretty interesting though, because once the predecessors on each side leave, you see what happens to them, and it's not so good. So then Miles Teller and Anya Taylor Joy are supposed to go no contact for a full year, but Anya Taylor Joy's character is real fun. She ends up, she can't resist. She's writing letters and stuff, trying to get him to react and things, and he slowly does. And that's actually how they build their relationship, like over the Gorge to hell or whatever, looking at each other, chatting, putting in these messages. They go on their little loop every day where they replace minds and things like that. But neither one of them really has a full grasp of what's going on. But that changes a little bit later. The big change comes when out of nowhere you get the Hollow Men. They come up out of the Gorge, and holy cow, it's like they're under attack from the Pirates of the Caribbean from the Dead Man's Chest. The Gorge is filled with like zombie-like human monsters with growths growing out of them, coming up over the side, scrabbling up, trying to get them. Auto turrets are going off, mines are going off. Both Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller have to get on these big machine gun turrets and let fly. It becomes an intense battle for their life really, really quickly. You go from romance to holy cow, what the heck's going on here? It was like awesome. It was so cool.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
But the movie's not all action, so that doesn't last. The battles don't last a whole long time. And then you're back to kind of two of them building their relationship together. I actually mentioned to people I was watching this with, like, why would you put a guy on one side and a girl on the other? Obviously, if that dude thinks he can get laid, he'll find a way over the pit to hell. And like that totally happens later on. It's like Anya's birthday. She wants him to come over. He, of course, invents a way with a missile launcher and a grappling hook. Not a problem. He goes hand over the Gorge to hell, which he knows is filled with monsters. But there's a girl on the other side, and he might get laid. Anyway, that's it. It's really, really cool. It was a lot of fun, like the way they get together over there, and it gets really, really interesting. You like it when they finally can talk together, and I don't know. I loved it. I was loving the character development in it. So as they're building their gorge, manse, I gotta say the music, the soundtrack of this does a great job setting the tone. Like when monsters are coming up, or when the romance parts are happening, or just the little fun things are taking place. It's really good. And eventually, I won't tell you how, but some events take place, and we get down in the gorge. And holy cow, the gorge is crazy. The Gorge is like an otherworldly pit of evil insanity. There's this crazy fog going around. The water looks green. Everything's got a dark tinge to it. It's nuts. You get to see some monsters down there. There's some humanoids that are like from hundreds of years ago, or like 100 years ago, wearing scraps of old clothing, riding these crazy looking horses. There's giant organisms that are all like human beings at one point connected together. There's these crazy skull spiders that like run out and they're insanely fast trying to jump and kill them. Like, oh my God, the Gorge itself was like the scariest character in this movie. What I really liked about it too is you get a lot of questions in the movie and then you get a lot of answers. It's a very good self-contained story. Like I was very sad. It's a little bit predictable, sure, but I was very satisfied with the ending. You get some cool lines like Miles Teller at one point. It's like, there are three things you can't hide for long: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Because there's, of course, a whole big conspiracy to be unraveled here. Then we get a nice final sequence. Pretty good. The ending was pretty cool. I liked how they finished it off, and I like where they went with it. But like I said, it's a contained story. This is just one movie. You know, so many movies you're like, well, we're not going to get the answers to the sequel or whatever. Like, no, they explained the whole thing out here. If there's no more movies or anything with this, great. I thought Miles Teller did a really good job. I really liked Anya Taylor-Joy in this. I thought she was great in Furiosa. She was great in this. Really enjoyed her character. Really liked Miles Teller, Miles Teller's character. He was a little predictable. It's like, oh, I wonder if the dude's going to try to cross the gorge to get to the girl. Oh, yes, he is. And yeah, there are disgusting monsters, an interesting storyline, a crazy experiment, a mystery to be solved, and lots of cool action in there. So overall, this honestly, this is a sleeper hit so far of 2025 for me. It's probably the best movie I've watched. I really, really liked it. I'm going to give it an 8.5 on the odometer. A lot of fun, great romance story, great action, and a solid story that's contained all in one where you get all the answers you want. It's very, very satisfying. Definitely check this one out if you have Apple TV. But thanks so much for watching this far, guys. Really appreciate that. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember, everybody, stay out of trouble.